Hello and welcome to this video tutorial where you will learn how to complete a vessel watch in the South Arran Marine Protected Area and the Lamlash Bay No-Take Zone. Watches will contribute to the Scottish Vessel Project, a collaborative community project to better understand vessel activity around Scotland's coasts. Before we begin, why are we doing this? As it stands, only vessels longer than 15 metres or carrying a certain amount of passengers or cargo are required to have an automatic identification system, known as AIS. AIS transmits data about the type of vessels, its location, and also the speed it's travelling at, amongst other things. On the other hand, smaller, non-commercial and recreational vessels, which there are many of around Arran, are not required to have AIS, which makes it a little tricky to quantify the actual number of vessels in an area. Some vessels who are not obliged to transmit AIS data may sometimes choose to, but then they also may choose to turn it off. This could be small fishing vessels, sailing yachts, as well as military vessels. These vessels all fall into this grey area here. So with these vessel watches, we should be able to better understand just how busy Arran's coast is. The Scottish Vessel Project has been collecting watches all around Scotland's coasts for over 2 years now. The Isle of Arran's community proposed no-take zone makes us very excited to partner with Coast to learn more about the vessel traffic in this natural beauty spot. So let's get started. What do you need to take with you? First up is a vessel watch sheet. This will tell us the details about your watch and give you space to fill in all the vessels you see. Secondly, you need a boat code sheet. This will help you to identify the vessels you see on your watch. Next up, you'll need a sea state table to tell us about the conditions on the day of your watch. Then, you'll need a pair of binoculars, a clipboard, and something to write with. You can borrow all of these items from the Coast Discovery Centre. Lastly, you might want to take a cup of tea or coffee. That one's optional though. So let's start filling in our theoretical watch sheet. First up, the location. The Cloughlan's car park is the ideal spot for a vessel watch. There are benches to sit on and a nice uninterrupted view of the Lamlash Bay no-take zone. Next, the date and your name. That's me. So the visibility on the day, good, and the sea state, a 1, meaning it was pretty calm with not much wind and just some ripples in the water. Then pop down the time that you started your watch, let's say 3 o'clock, and when you finished, let's say 5 o'clock. Then estimate the number of quail marker buoys you can see. This can be tricky, so just take your time and remember it's just an estimate. Great, so you've spotted your first vessel. Let's continue filling out our watch sheet. So it's 1 row per vessel. Let's write down the time that we first saw the vessel. Let's say 4:07. Next, let's refer to our boat code sheet. This one looks like a very large vessel, so in the vessel type column, we'll write down VLV. Next, the bearing of the vessel is sitting at 109 degrees. Then, the distance in reticules, this one is sitting at 0.5. Don't worry, we'll go into more detail about reticules later. Now, we will refer to the maritime app Marine Traffic. You can download this onto your phone for free. Locate the Isle of Arran and zoom into Lamlash Bay. It looks like we found the Waverley, so we can put that in the vessel name column. We can also tick the transmitting location column, since we found it on the app. Marine Traffic also tells us the speed of the vessel, 10.4 knots, so this means we can circle the medium option in the speed column. You can also see the size of the vessel. Let's finish up filling out this row. So the last time that we saw the vessel, 4:20. The bearing we last saw the vessel on, 137, and the distance that we last saw the vessel at, 0 reticules, which means that the vessel got further away from us. For the vessel activity and behaviour column, we can circle that it was moving. Did you see the vessel within the no-take zone boundaries? Yes, and we'll make a note and say that it looked like a day cruise and it passed through the no-take zone. For the marine mammal sighting column, we didn't see any in the same area as the vessel, so we'll circle no. And just a note, marine mammals include seals, dolphins, whales, otters, all of which you could be lucky to see around Arran's coast. Let's take a look at this vessel. So we first saw it at 4:49. It looks like a small motorboat. So in the vessel type column, we'll fill in SM. We had a look on marine traffic and couldn't see it. We also weren't able to see if there was a name on this boat, so we'll have to put not known and a cross that it wasn't transmitting its location. We first saw it on a bearing of 165 and at 0.25 reticules away. Now finish this one up. It was last seen at 5:12, at 212 degrees, and at 0 reticules. It was still for a moment, travelling at a low speed and also a medium speed. Remember, you can always circle more than one option. It was moving, and we didn't see it travelling through the no-take zone. We'll make a note just to say that it was a rib and it briefly moored in the Holy Isle and returned to Lamlash Harbour. And we didn't see any marine mammals at the same time. Let's go into a little more detail about the readings. Firstly, line up the vertical line on the binoculars with the vessel to get the compass bearing. Ideally, it would be in the middle, but this one is approximately 168 degrees. Next, the reticules. First, place any horizontal line on the horizon or the waterline, where the water meets the land. Then, count down to the middle of the boat's hull. This will usually be a small number. This vessel is at 0.5 reticules. 0 reticules means it's far away, and the closer the vessel gets, the higher the reticules will be. Great, now it's time to test your vessel ID skills. Using the sheet, jot down the types of vessels from A to J. You can pause and take as long as you need. The answers will be displayed in 5 seconds. How did you do? If you're ever struggling to identify a vessel, feel free to take a picture and email it to us, and we will try and help to identify it. And that's it. You're now ready to complete a Scottish Vessel Project watch on the Isle of Arran. Please remember to scan or photograph your watch sheets and email them to Emily, or drop them off at the Coast Discovery Centre. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn how to conduct a vessel watch on the Isle of Arran. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Scan the QR code for more information. And lastly, we'd like to say a big thank you to all of our funders. Thanks for watching.